Hi everyone, thank you for joining in this particular tutorial from across the world. Now this tutorial is really powered by a multilingual live AI agent. All of you would see a closed caption button in your particular meeting link, and you can actually choose your own preferred language if you are preferring any other local language. So just click on the CC button and select your preferred language, and you should be able to see transcription or caption of whatever I am speaking in this particular tutorial. As you can see, I hope in the Spanish and also in the German as well as in the French, all running live. This is a true multilingual AI agent use case that we can create using WebRTC framework, and that's what we are going to discuss in this video. So I hope you all are ready for this tutorial. I have been looking to create such application for a long time since I have came to know about WebRTC, and thanks to the power of WebRTC, we can really build a multilingual AI agent system that you have just seen in the demo that I believe would really connect the world now more than ever before. And if you are trying to build, or if you're thinking to build an AI applications or SaaS application or maybe a meeting application that would really connect participants across the world regardless of their language preference, I think this is the best time that you are living in, and this is the best time that we can build such applications with just a few lines of code. And as always, in this particular tutorial, we are going to talk about the business use case, and then I'm going to take you through the code base, and you will be amazed to see that with how little code we are able to achieve this particular demo application. If you are into the coaching business, or if you want to create a meeting applications and connect people across the world, I think this is it. This is the right technology that we can leverage and create powerful application using multimodal and multilingual AI agents. In this particular demo, however, we have just shown you a live captioning, but as you can imagine, this can be even done to create live captioning in local language, as well as do a live translation and speech output of whatever the host is speaking to the regional language of the participants. The amount of use case that we can produce with this technology is really unlimited. It's really limited to your imagination. I already have got so many ideas. I've started building on top of it, and this is probably the first video I'm creating on this kind of multilingual application, and I'm going to bring more video on different other multilingual use cases, different other maybe a translation app or something in the near future. So please subscribe to the channel, because all the upcoming videos are really going to be amazing, I promise you. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go to the screen and let's explore the code, and let me show you how you can run this demo in your local system. Welcome to the code tutorial, and in this particular tutorial there is going to be so much learning, and this is actually going to open up your mind in a way that you will really have so much of idea to build this kind of system that I promise you will thank me later. Now, before I go to the code tutorial and the code deep dive specifically, I would really like to first show you what is happening under the hood. So as you have seen in the demo, what we have created is a multilingual AI live captioning system for live meetings. So imagine you have a Zoom meetings, or you have created a new AI powered Zoom live meeting application or SaaS application where the enterprise users or any business users can have their team across the world. And of course, their team members would have their own language preference based on their locality and regions. And oftentimes what happens is the team members work in a constrained environment in their own local regional language. They can't communicate over the different team members across different regions. Even as an immigrant myself, what happened with me at the start of when I have started working with client across UK and US is I literally had difficulties in understanding the context, difficulties in understanding the different concept and the business requirement or technical requirements. And I imagine it might happen with a lot of you across whatever container that you're watching it from. So what we can really do in this today's world, we could create this kind of multilingual AI applications which would do live captioning that you have just seen, so that participants across the world can actually collaborate in a live meeting with different team members, and we can really produce even much higher quality product or softwares or services that we are actually trying to create. I believe this is actually going to make the world come closer. This kind of technology would make our collaborative work much more efficient. So what is really happening here is in this multilingual AI live captioning system, we have a host that have joined the meeting. And as soon as the host joined the meeting, an AI agent is assigned to the host as well. And also then when he shares the meeting link to the other user, the user have joined to the same meeting. And as soon as they join the meeting, the same AI agent is creating a spawn or thread and being assigned to each and every user. And then when user selects their preferred language of captioning, the AI agent basically listens to what host is speaking, and then it is doing the captioning and doing the translation and showing it into their front end basically. So that is what really is happening in terms of technologically. What we have done is we created a front end Next.js application, and that also have a back end Next.js routes. And then we also have the LiveKiT AI agent. Again, the LiveKiT AI agent is being used here to connect to the different meeting rooms. Whenever a user is coming to the front in Next.js application, the Next.js application come into the backend API route, which further basically connect to the LiveKiT server, get a LiveKiT room URL, and then pass it back to the front end. And that is what is shown into the front end to the user. And then user shares the same meeting link that the user basically is joining. As soon as they are joining the meeting link, the LiveKiT AI agent is being informed using the LiveKiT architecture. I have covered about the LiveKiT architecture and overall WebRTC architecture in details. So as soon as LiveKiT AI agent is being informed that there is a new client that have joined, then the LiveKiT AI agent create another worker thread and join to the same meeting link. That's what is really happening under the hood. Now, how we are doing it and how basically the LiveKiT AI agent is listening to the audio and it's publishing the caption, let's look at the code. So again, if you have any questions so far, or if you have any kind of confusion how all of this happening, I have really covered a detailed tutorial on LiveKiT system and WebRTC system. Maybe I will probably quickly show you that. So if you go to the channel and click on the videos tab, you will see so many tutorials, but the one that you should look for is this crash course, where I have talked about a really in-depth details about WebRTC and LiveKiT, how it works. And then if you go to playlist, you will find a playlist of this WebRTC based AI agent using LiveKiT, where we have 13 videos. So if you watch those step by step, you will see I have covered so many LiveKiT based AI agent scenario, from inbound calling agent, outbound calling agent, mobile app, different business use case you will find in this particular playlist. So if you're first time into the channel, again, you watch these particular videos that will give you so many informations about end-to-end setup, and that you can use to build your own application. Now let's go to the code. We have already taken a lot of time explaining all of this. Let's go through the code base. So this is the agent code base, but before I go to the agent code base, let's actually see the client side. So when you clone this particular repository, you will get a client folder, you get a server folder, and then you get a readme. Actually talks about how you run everything, so don't worry about it. So you can actually go through it and actually run it, but let's go through the code quickly. So in the client, under web folder, we have all the source code. So in the under source, you have all the source code, and this is the Next.js application. You need the LiveKiT API URL, API key, and API secret, which you can easily get it if you go to the LiveKiT settings, and if you click on keys, you will be able to actually create a key and just get key, secret, and the URL. You will get it from there. So make sure you get that. Make sure you get the $50 plan if you want to test the full fledged of it. If you want to just test the AI agent feature, you can still do it with free account, but you won't be able to use the meeting link for multiple participants because you can only do 2 ingress connections. So that means the host and the AI agent can only go into the room. You can still test it, what I mean to say, but not a proper meeting scenario that I have shown you. Cool. Again, coming back to the code base. So let's go to the source. So inside the source, we have app, API, and then we have components. So basically under the components, we have all the front end or client side code. If you have been coding on Next.js or full stack application, you know how it works. So we have page for parties. We have page for the lobby. In the host control, you have the mic toggle and you have the caption toggle and you have the language select toggle. However, if you go to the listener control, which is basically for the listener who have joined to this meeting room, they only have the caption toggle, the language select, and leave button. So they only have 3 options. You would actually see that when I would again try and run the demo for you. You have a circle visualizer here. So you see when you go into the meeting room, my name was showing into the middle. That is what the circle visualizer basically is, and it is an interactive window. So when I speak, that circle visualizer basically does a lot of animations to showcase that there is some volume activity that is happening, which is again used by this use effect logic. Now, coming to the controls, so we have different controls as here. Again, go through the code. These are very simple component that we have used, and we have used the LiveKiT React components here. We haven't actually created the components ourselves. Like here, you can see we have done the use media device select, and based on that, we have been actually showing the devices and everything. And same for the language. If you go to the language section, you will see that the languages are coming from this get language method. So where this get language method is coming from, this is an RPC call. I'll talk about that. Just hold on there a minute. So other than that, we have an API. In API, we have only one API route. This is just basically to use the LiveKiT URL, API key, and secret and create a room and pass back the token to the client so that we use the URL and token to connect to the LiveKiT server. That's it. We don't need a lot of other APIs. Now let's talk about the really most important aspect of how the captions are actually coming. That is the really interesting part of this particular tutorial. So for that, what we have to do is we have to go through the server. So in the server, you have this main.py. This is the only one file, and you see only 180 lines of code to create this AI agent. We are supporting at the moment this 5 language. You can add more language because if you're using OpenAI API, I think OpenAI supports more than this 5 language, but you can select anything really there, and then the language code. So these are the language code, and this is the actual language, and we have used the flag here. Now we have a translator class, and in the translator class basically is where we specify the room, we specify the language, and we specify the context. This is the system context that we will actually send to the AI model. So we are basically saying you are a translator of the language, and then the language that user have selected will be passed there, and your only response should be exact translation of the input text. Now how the input text is coming, we'll come to there later. And we are just here using the OpenAI large language model to basically pass the system context and do the actual translation. And that is what is written in this particular method, which is the translate method. So what we are doing is we are using the RTC, which is the real-time communication and transcription segment we are only interested into. And as we take this transcription segment class, we are basically taking this translated message that is being generated by the LLM. So using the LLM.chat. So we are getting the translated message and we are creating segments, and these segments we are basically publishing here as a transcription. So if you can see here, we are just passing this segment here with the local participant identity. That means the user's identity in the room. And then we are passing the segment, passing the transcription using the segment here. That is what the translate method is doing. So this is the entry point. As always, for any LiveKiT agent, entry point is really the first script that is executed when an agent joins a room. And as soon as it joins a room, what we are doing, we are initializing a speech to text using DeepGram. And then we have a list and a translator as an array. And here we are specifying the STT stream and STT forwarder and the track, and then we are basically forwarding the transcription and logging the transcript in the console. Again, how we are doing it. So for that, we are using the transcribe track method. In the transcribe track, we are listening to the participants. So from this particular code, we know who are the participants in that particular meeting room, and we are subscribed to their track. And we are just fetching the audio stream. So in this case, host has only the options to do the audio stream. So in this case, we are only interested in the host audio stream. But if you are building an application where every member in that particular room can speak, you can actually change this particular code and add microphone or audio stream to different participants, and you can listen to that, but that will make this code even more complex. You have to think of a lot of the other use cases here if you want to build those kind of application that is really, really complex. In this case, we have only used one host. Now, these are all, if you can see, these all methods are asynchronous methods. So that means these are all running like live and asynchronously. So the AI agent is not going to be, this is to only ensure that the AI agent doesn't get frozen or something. If it is a synchronous method, then every time I speak, the AI agent has to process it, and it will create unnecessary thread into the CPU, and it might freeze the AI agent. So that is why we had to be really careful about how we would do the transcription or transcribe of the audio. Now, if you see here, this particular method, which is the important one, is when we have the track subscribe. So whenever we have a job room, when there is a track subscribe, we are listening to the track. And if the track is of kind audio, then we are calling the transcribe track method, which is what I have just shown you a while ago, where we are forwarding the transcription. Now let's talk about how the RPC invocation is happening. So RPC stands for remote procedure call, and let me actually open a link for you. So if you go through this particular link, which is where you would get the exact details how to do an RPC. You have to be really, really careful here. When you do RPC, it has to be small payload. I think there is a maximum size of 15 kilobyte of payload that you should send, not more than that. So if you read it here, that with RPC, your application can define method on one participant that can be invoked remotely by other participants. So that means when, let's say, the host joins or the different user is joining, they can individually create their own RPC instance. They register it into the LiveKiT SFU server. So what would happen is one participant call other participants RPC method, because these are all registered to the LiveKiT SFU server. In this case, they are registering into the AI agent as a participant RPC method. When I was showing you the client code, there was this get language RPC method that the client was calling. So when they will call this get language method into the AI agent, because AI agent is also a participant, it will get the language list, which is what we defined here. So that means we are really controlling the languages that the AI agent would support in this case. So that means the client code doesn't need to be changed. So let's say tomorrow we want to support Hindi as a language. So all we need to do is just add this here at the AI agent side, at the backend side, and as a front end or as a client, they don't need to even do anything, right? The front end code doesn't need to be changed or anything, because these are actually doing an RPC call to the agent through LiveKiT SFU server, not like direct RPC call to the server. So this is all secure, okay? This is not like an insecure call, and it has to be pre-registered. That's what I mean, right? So in the client code, let me just show you quickly. So here in the client code, when the language select code, if you see, this is actually doing a perform RPC using the local participant and get language method, and the destination identity is agent. So we are basically here, we are giving a static value that you would only call or perform RPC for the agent, participant, and this particular method. So that means we are not allowing the user 1 to call user 2 participants RPC method or host participant RPC method. We are only allowing the agent or participant RPC method. This is a really security constraint area So if you are designing or creating this kind of application, you have to be really careful to how you want to design your system, how you want to design the RPC calls, because RPC calls eventually can open security vulnerability if it is not properly designed. But with WebRTC, this is much secure because all these communications are happening through the LiveKiT SFU server. So SFU or LiveKiT SFU manages all the AI agent state and everything. And based on that, it knows that which particular agent instant it needs to call the RPC. So whenever there is a job request, we are kind of accepting that and we are giving an identity of agent. So unlike the other LiveKiT demonstration, we haven't ever provided an identity to the agent, so it was always creating a random AI agent name. But in this case, we had to provide a specific identity. Why? Because we had to register an RPC method which would be called by the client. So that is why the identity is really important, as you can understand. And other than that, nothing else is happening. There is all the other things are really same. We are using Celerovat for doing the voice activity detections, because based on the voice activity detection, the transcription is being generated, and using the RPC call, the AI agent is able to publish the caption directly to the users. So that is all happening again through the LiveKiT SFU servers. This is all happening through the different tracks. So that means when the client or the user have joined to the room, they have subscribed to the track for transcription, and that is why they are getting these speech-to-text segments or the transcription captioning through the basically WebRTC subscription methods. And this is how they are getting the translated message showing into their screen. I know it's a bit advanced, it's a bit complex topic. So if you have never done this kind of coding, or if you have never done a lot of coding, this would probably not make a lot of sense. But don't worry about it. I'm going to bring a lot more videos. So please follow along the channel. I'm trying to create a translation application, and that's the next step. And I hope I will be able to actually show you in much more details. If you have any question, if you have any doubts, so far what I've tried to explain you, let me know in the comments. I tried my best. I wish I have some other mechanisms to explain you in a very easy way. But I think if you see the LiveKiT and WebRTC overall architecture tutorial that I have already covered in the channel, this would make much more sense if you're first time into this kind of tutorial or into this kind of architectures. And if you have liked the video, and if you really think that you need more of this type of different complex business use cases that you want to see in the channel, again, let me know in the comments, because the only way that I would know your learning needs, as I have been telling multiple times through different videos. So please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and let me know in the comments what do you think, or what kind of applications that you want to build with this kind of system. Now, many of you have a different of business aspirations. Many of you are reaching out. Thank you for all your messages through the direct communications. And many of you have a lot of ideas about creating different multimodal AI agents. And I am happy to share the news that I have actually launched the Web AI agency. So I have been running the AI agency for a long time, but now I have also started an web development agency where I am helping different businesses create this kind of multimodal AI agents for their use cases. If you are one of them, if you're coming from a specific domain, or if you have an already AI agency and you want to provide this kind of AI agent to your clients, and you're looking for development teams or technical team to support you, use the link again from the down below and reach out. I can't commit that I will pick up your project because we really have very strict bandwidth. I think for the March, I can probably pick one more project, but I would look forward to know at least your use case and if I can help you with any kind of idea that I have. So use the link, reach out, and let's talk further if you need any of this kind of use case that you want to build in your area or in your particular domain. Now, let's quickly see how we would run this. Again, as I said, in the readme.md, everything is written there, how you can run this. It's very simple. First, you have to create a Python environment, just like that. So just like that, create a Python environment. I already have created, which is LK agent, as you can see. And then once you have created that, go inside the backend folder or the server folder, and then install all the requirements using pip install -r requirement.txt. That will install everything that you need to install. And then all you need to do is just hit this command that will start your AI agent. Before you do that, you need to update your OpenAI API key, DeepGram API key, and LiveKit APIs. You have seen many times in this channel, I have covered this. So this is nothing different. And same in the client side. In the web, you have another .env. So just copy the .env example and just provide the LiveKit AI API key and secret and the LiveKit URL. And that's it. Then you can basically go there. The client side application is using PNPM. So if you don't know how to install PNPM, it's very simple. So I'll go this link. If you already have npm installed, you can literally just use an npm command. I'm just going to quickly show you that. Yeah, so this one. So if you have a node installed in your system, just use npm install -g. That will install the PNPM locally, and then just run PNPM I, which will install all the node modules. If you do not have PNPM, you can also run like npm install, and that will install all the node modules, but you have to run it inside the client web folder. And then once you updated the .env file, just run pnpm dev, and that will actually start the client side application. Now let me actually run it very quickly. So here I am into the web folder. So if you just see, this is the web folder, client web, and here I will run pnpm dev. So once I run that, I have my client running, and then I go to the server and I do python main.py dev. So this is all running on dev mode. That's why we're using dev. Now I can see the worker is registered to my LiveKit server. Now what we can do is just create another incognito and use this URL. This is the meeting URL, and here I would join as host. And you see, this is not there still because the RPC method is still being called. And then here I will maybe join as Maria, but I'm not a host. And here you see there are 3 participants showing. So one participant is the host, the other participant is the agent, and the third participant is of course Maria. And here you can select different language. As you select the language, and as I speak here, the transcription should be coming live, you will see. So as you can see, the transcription is coming live on the Spanish, or if you select any other language like French, again, new transcriptions will be generated. As you can see, this is running as French. And that's how the entire application is running. But just give it some time when you load this, because this RPC call sometimes takes a little bit of time, maybe a few seconds, and then only you will see this being populated. This particular dropdown is actually coming from the AI agent where we have selected the list of language. That's all really I wanted to cover as part of this video. Please let me know if you really like this video or if you need this kind of tutorial going further, and I will definitely bring more such tutorial. If you are looking to build this kind of AI application and you need technical team, again, use the link below and reach out. What I usually am doing is reviewing that, and if we have the appetite, we have the available bandwidth, I will respond to your email or I'll respond to your request. With that said, I'm going to end this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I'll see you on to the next one. Bye.